how standardized tests shape and limit student learning. They stated GED recipients perform about as well as high school graduates on standardized tests but have worse life outcomes because they often lack important qualities such as curiosity, perseverance, and social ability. Standardized testing as a whole plays a large role in the college application process right now currently, and many of us struggled with the tests, including me, and have to retake them in order to get the score they want to get into the school they want to go to. Many of us can't even get into the college we want because of these tests, which I think is very concerning. My junior year, I scored low on the ACT my first time. I was very stressed because my grades weren't too great as well, and since my grades weren't too great, on top of that with my rough ACT score, I wasn't able to really get into the college that I wanted to. So what I did was I had to continuously take it 2 or 3 times, and I eventually scored very well on it. Thankfully to going to tutoring, that helped a lot. But personally, I feel that these tests are not the proper judgment of the knowledge of our students. I feel that standardized testing should play less of a role in our educational system and the process of students getting into colleges, because these tests can create a lack of confidence in the students. The scores do not show the full capabilities of the students, and because it only focuses on cognitive learning. One of the reasons why I feel that standardized testing should be reduced is because it can create a lack of confidence and also causes anxiety. Many of the students have the proper knowledge, yet have a hard time test taking because of either test taking anxiety or any learning disabilities. The ACT and SAT require very good test taking skills in order to do well, since that's a very large test of a lot of content, and many students struggle with these. Someone stated, instead of determining the entire picture of learning through a review of all the assessment data with their teachers, a student might determine their success based on a standardized test score that is taken once a year. Honestly, I agree with that statement. I feel like it's ridiculous. I feel like just based off of one standardized test score, you're judging a student's knowledge is very ridiculous, and this can create poor self-confidence when doing bad on it, and continuously taking it just adds more stress onto you on top of school. Many students as well have test-taking issues and learning disabilities, which can cause students to do poorly. The federal law requires 95% of test participation, including for the vast majority of students with disabilities. So even students with disabilities mainly have to take these standardized tests in order to get into colleges and other things such as IELTS. Students all have unique strengths and capabilities in the classroom, and these standardized tests do not show how capable students really are. These tests are very one-dimensional and do not show the creativity of the students. Like machine scoring systems really diminish student learning because they tend to prioritize features like mechanical correctness and sentence or word length instead of just the substance of the writing and the content that they're creating. Researchers have found that high standardized scores have little correlation with memory, attention, and processing speed. High test scores could simply mean a student excels at memorization and multiple choice test taking. So basically, that just shows that a student can do well with multiple choice problems and they're good at test taking, but we don't know if they're creative, they have the right things outside of that to succeed in college. Students are very capable in the classroom and have different strengths. These tests focus on one specific strength and don't give the student an opportunity to show how capable they really are. Lastly, ACT and SATs only focus on cognitive learning and lack the other areas of education. Standardized testing can limit student learning as a whole because it only focuses on cognitive learning. Schools focus a lot mainly on standardized testing, especially my junior year personally. We only focused really on ACT content for part of the year, and I think that really limits like the students' creativity, and also they are not able to learn other areas of education, people skills and stuff like that. I feel like we really focus too much on standardized testing and just doing well on these so we can get into college. Students have other abilities and characteristics that are more important than just being able to take a test. Being able to have creativity and properly interact with others is more important because these skills can be used later on in life, such as having a job and just interacting with your coworkers. Standardized tests have many cons, and although they do only focus on cognitive learning, that's just one of the major issues that these tests present. As a whole today, I wanted to focus on why standardized testing should be limited. These tests should because these tests create a lack of confidence in the students, and the scores do not show the fullest of the capabilities of the students, and because it only focuses on cognitive learning. Standardized testing should play less of a role in our education system and be reduced because they can create all of these different issues and plus more. When continuing on in life and getting a job, there are many skills you need to have. Those who are not capable of finishing school and getting a proper education lack many skills as a whole, but are still able to do well on standardized tests. This shows that qualities such as curiosity, consciousness, and perseverance, and sociability are all more important than just being able to take a test.